Okay, so I just watched a video, and it's called Detroit GM Factory Shuts Down Overnight, Workers Lose Everything. And in the video, the guy has, there's a TikTok of this woman that she talks about a work number account. And it reminded me of something that I had thought about multiple times. It's like a policy or an idea or whatever. It's kind of like in in countries where they have a universal healthcare system, where they have a card, where they just have a health card, and you can go into a clinic or an ER or whatever, and you just be like, "Here's my health card," boom, and you don't need to fill out a fucking form. You don't need to fill out the endless fucking paperwork every fucking time you go into a new place. It's like I recently moved like twice or whatever. And it's like you always have to fill out the same bullshit every time. If the US had a universal healthcare system, when you actually give them your insurance card, it'd be like when you pay for something with a credit card. Here's my card. Swipe, and they give it back. But, wow, that was so much easier. Yes, it was. Why don't we just have that with employment? So no one needs to do the whole resume garbage anymore. Anytime you want to apply for a job, you just apply for a job with a card. Or let's take it another step further. You just log on to I could say the web, but log on to the central worker database or something like that. It could be the central, I don't know, US job database. And for a place like this where I am, Trinity, it'd be like local job, local area, regional, whatever jobs. And you would just see the job listings and you'd just be like, this one, this one. And you could just click it and send file, send application, and whatever. You could apply from, for me, desktop. For most people, it'd be phone. And if you're the employer, since everybody be, you know, basically listed on there, you could just be like, I'm here, I live here, and you could just be like, I'm looking for a job, I have these skill sets, I've worked here, here, turn on looking for a job. And an employer would just be like, oh, these people are looking for jobs? I choose you. And you having a phone would just be like, you just get a notification. Oh, I'm needed. Time to go to work. And you would just be like, do you want to accept this job? Pay rate, location, yes, or no. Fuck that job. And the employer would get, notification. It would just be, you doing it or the employer doing it one way. Instead of this fucking Wild West kind of bullshit back and forth. And this would require a centralized system. This would require a big governmental federal system and every employer getting on board and saying, yes, we're okay with this. We're logging on to this and we're being okay with logging on to this, and every person being okay with having the app on their phone or on their computer or both, or and every person being like, this is a good idea, let's do this. Because it is a good idea. It's very fluid. And then that way the employer can, you can, as the employer, you can see specifically who has the job, who has the skills in your area, and also you can look at the person. You can look at their profile and see if you need a person with a certain skill set, you can see their employment history and you can see that they have worked doing certain jobs at certain companies right there in their profile, and it's all vetted. Or it's at least pre-vetted. Nothing's ever for sure until the individual gets to your company and starts working, but whatever. And a system like this at the outset, there's probably going to be kinks that need to be worked out. People are probably going to find ways to be like, yeah, I'm a welder. I think I can do welding. Be like, I've seen it done before. I watched some YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure I can weld. And the guy gets there and you don't know what the fuck he's doing. But eventually, those kinds of things, after I think a few weeks or a month. Shit like that will have uh, contingencies and protocols developed to weed out garbage like that. And plus, for things like tradesmen, like I said, just like I just said, welders and stuff like that. I mean, if you're a foreman and be like, I'm sure you can give somebody that if you've never seen them before and worked with them, I'm sure you can be like, well, I mean, I've never seen you. Let me, you know, do a, I don't know what the fuck they're called. Do a W weld, do an L weld, do a whatever, you know. Let me, give them a test just to make sure. Give them some simple things, and be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Why'd you waste my time? And then after that, after some shit like that, you could put the mark on the profile, be like, this guy fucking lied about it. And like after something like that, the profile would be tarnished pretty fucking bad. That would be a, uh, you know, again, something like that. That would be like a fraud thing that you would be, you know, in violation of some kind of, we collectively does decide on some sort of punishment for that or something. Again, like I said, protocols and stuff. Especially with something like welding where I mean, you can fucking kill people if you're doing welding on some sort of like factory line, or you know you cause an explosion or something, like you kill people. So yeah, there's that. And the other jobs, you're just gonna be average minimum wage labor monkey, like the jobs I used to do. Anybody can do those jobs. All you need is, you know, it's you need no training. If you get them, then whatever. Uh, so there you go. I talked a lot longer than necessary. Tax the rich, kneecap the rich. Boobs.